And time now to make some sense of these cents. In 2019, Kenya was ranked 56th globally in the ease of doing business. In the past 6 years, the country's business ecosystem has undergone massive reforms to ease doing business from inception. KTN's Noah Kipkemboi with that report.
The business environment in the country has been increasingly getting better, with the country not only ranking 56th globally in ease of doing business, but first globally on protecting minority investors and fourth on access to credit, as noted by the Ease of Doing Business Reform Milestones report of between 2014 and 2020.
The business environment and making business environment much simpler and easier is something that is really mirroring the life cycle of any business. Everybody has done a fantastic job, and that is reflected in the journey that we have traveled so far, where we moved, as earlier told, from position 136 in 2014 out of 190 countries, meaning that we are at the bottom quartile globally, to 2 years ago to position 56.
Unfortunately, businesses globally took a hit from the COVID-19 disruption.
The cross-border trade, of course, countries closed, and for a while there was not much happening. So, of course, that slowed down, but we started seeing it pick up, as especially when PCR, the testing was available. So, of course, we saw businesses slow down, and so there was not much registration, but it was a catch-22. I would say in some sectors, businesses slowed down, and so there was less new businesses coming up, but some sectors did grow, and we saw areas like ICT, as people moved online, we started seeing new businesses coming up.
Julius Mathu has been in the supplies business for over 2 decades. He tells me the merry report of ease of doing business is not reflective on the ground.
It's so expensive. Taxes, dollar, euro have gone up very high. And therefore, you cannot give the consumer, because the consumer have nothing, because they have no business. Even the business you do it, they are doing it for only their own food, not for anything luxurious things. In fact, it's so difficult we are in, because I'm borrowing from the bank. The bank is required their interest. So the little percent I make is consumed by the interest by the bank. So it's only to keep me alive. Yeah, not a business to make it profit, is to keep me alive. Otherwise, if I go to home and sleep, I'll die there.
Between 2014 and 2020, the tax compliance rate increased from 8% to 75%, courtesy of iTax.
Technology enables not just the tax authority with respect to doing the risk profiling. Our auditing is targeted because we now are able to see, with the help of technology, see who is evading, who is not, and therefore any verification, any compliance checks and auditing are based on data. So in a way, the systems we have put in place have enabled us to do a better job as tax administrators, while on the other hand, it enables the taxpayer to be able to comply.
But Kenyan businesses have massively decried heavy taxation, terming it as one of the big barriers of doing businesses in the country.
Although we are digitizing and reducing, we don't want to create more and more taxes. It is easier to have one overall tax, and I think that is the overall goal. One overall tax that you pay once, and that is the end of the story. But if we keep adding, right now, for instance, we've hugely expanded the rate of excise duties on manufacturing, and that is now, it is another tax again, which is ultimately paid by the consumer. But we need to take them within the context of making business easier, just reduce the taxes. So it is easier for a manufacturer, whether large or small, to be able to know what taxes they are going to pay.
In a Kenyan business cycle, actually looking at the key pointers, in regards to ease of doing business, we've made tremendous steps for the past 6 years. But when it comes to the ground, businesses, especially SMEs, have been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic and still trying to recover. Therefore, a lot of support is needed. Noah Kip, KTN News, Nairobi.
Away from that, all eyes are on Kenya as it hosted the inaugural CARICOM